Welcome to the Michiana Business Podcast, where we put local legends and businesses in the spotlight for everyone in our area to see. If you love small businesses and success stories, then you're in the right place. You're listening to the Michiana Business Podcast with your friends, hosts, and owners of industrial office cleaning right here in Michiana, Caitlin and Alonzo Perdomo.
Well, my question was like, what kind of type of concrete do you put inside? Like, let's say in a garage, is it the same kind of concrete that goes aside in the driveway, or it's not?
Oh, great question. So, and that I should have answered that. So sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Garage floors are virtually the same, but there's the air entrainment is different on outside concrete versus inside concrete because of the way that it's finished. Outside concrete is broom finished, all broom finished. Inside is hand troweled finished or used a power trowel finish. So the air entrainment is different in that aspect. But if you're not putting, if you're not driving on it, so in a basement, we can pour a gravel mix, which is a cheaper mix in price because gravel is cheaper than limestone. However, gravel is just as strong or stronger when it comes to the actual stone itself, and so it's a little cheaper to pour in a basement floor. So footings and your floor would be a gravel mix, still 4,000 psi, pounds per square inch. And that can all be tested too. We can get cylinders and have it tested, etc. But that would be the difference between outside versus inside concrete.
Awesome. Let me ask you this other question, because I don't know how important it is, or it's not necessary to put this step. But when you bring, like, let's say, for example, you put in concrete in the garage, you have to put the barrier under the concrete before you pour the concrete, or it's not? Because I don't want to mention a place, but they keep replacing the carpets in there, and the carpets start kind of like wrinkly or stuff like that. Is that have to do something with they don't put the barrier before they lay the concrete?
You're exactly right. Absolutely. Because so when we pour inside concrete, whether it be a garage floor or a basement floor, we put down a 6 mil visqueen vapor barrier.
Okay.
And that's the situations with the carpet coming up. Moisture is coming through the concrete and not allowing any glue or anything to bond to the concrete. That, so if you go in and you want to epoxy a floor, and there's new products out there, like if it's an existing floor and you're not sure if there's a vapor barrier underneath, and to save from actually drilling through the concrete to find out if there's a vapor barrier, you can do a vapor barrier test, which is actually putting plastic visqueen and taping it down to the floor, and then come back the next day and you can see if that's dry, then there's a moisture barrier underneath the concrete and you're good to go. But if it's not, if there's moisture underneath that in between the visqueen and the concrete, top of the concrete, then you have to put a moisture barrier down, which is just like an epoxy / chemical that's going to keep that additional epoxy or the topical epoxy on and make it last. So that is very important on inside concrete work.
So it's very important. No one that I would like this people. I don't want to mention names because it's not correct to say, but they keep putting every 5 years they replace the carpet every 10 years. But I'm always curious why they keep bubbling. I'm like, I want to know if they put the barrier under before they put the concrete. Well, I'm glad that you answered my question because now I feel more secure. I'm like, yes, they did the wrong job. And this go back to like saying like you hire the right company, you hire the expensive company, you hire the cheap company. It always, I think it's better to ask the right questions, learn from that company if they really have all the systems in place. because a lot of people goes just with it, trying to save money. Save money sometimes is good, sometimes it's very bad. In some things.
Absolutely. And with that, whoever that company may be, I would the next time they rip or that carpet out, I would apply a liquid vapor barrier down,
Okay.
and then they would be able to reinstall the carpet. The glue's going to bond everything, and hopefully extend the life of that carpet. You know,
Yeah.
so anyway, that's sorry about that.
Well, thank you. No, that's a great tip. Whoever's going to listen, I'm sure they're going to listen to this part and they're going to be like, oh, we can do that. Okay. Let me contact them. I don't want to do it. Let me contact them. That's going to be a great, great thing to you guys, for you guys. Anyways, let me jump in to the other question because I'm taking a lot of time. Um, what do you recommend to people who don't do to hire the right company or hire the wrong company? One simple thing that you can say, like, don't hire this because it's going to happen this, or what do you recommend in that?
Um, so Robert Geans Corporation is been very blessed to be able to uh, self-support.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is when you sign a proposal and you send it in, we do not require a down payment. So most contractors do. They want half down, and then there's a trust factor there. And once, and that's rough on contractors, period, because you don't want a bad rap. And if somebody's got burned, they were paid half. The contractor was paid half down, and then they take off, and you'll never hear from them again. And the next guy coming in has to, if I may use the term, fight that battle, with trust factor with the homeowner and the new contractor. So if the project's like $100,000, okay, then we're going to talk terms on that, and let's do it in increments in time frame. But your standard residential projects, driveways, etc. We are blessed to be able to pay our guys, pay all the bills that come with that project before, and then when that project is done, we'll send you an invoice, and then we obviously take all forms of payment. So I think that's one aspect that Robert Geans Corporation offers, is that initial trust factor. Like, on a $15,000, $20,000 job, they're not paying $10,000 to us before we even show up. Then in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, are they going to show up today? And then that initial trust factor is all skewed at that point.
Yeah.
So when we show up to the on site, we want you to be able to trust us, and us not give you a reason not to.
For sure.
So that's one small aspect of what we offer.
Awesome. So let me ask you three questions. I'm going to ask three questions. I think I want to wrap it up. I want to take more of your time because I can be sitting here all day talking to you, buddy. But I know you got more important things to do. So let's say, for example, let's just go for the people that they want to kind of inspire themselves, and they want to do things. Know what you offer, but maybe other things that they want to try to accomplish in life. What is the three things that you recommend to people that if they're going to start a business or they're going to start something in their lives? What is the three things you're like, don't do that, try this way, so you don't get burned like me? I'm sure you did it, but I just, something that you can share with the team out there in the community to improve their lives.
Sure. I grew up in the business, so you could say that, Ryan was just handed a silver spoon. That's not the case.
Yep.
Anything worth having is hard work. Just 3 or 4 years ago, even being in the family business, you're like, well, you can set your own schedule and la 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 la. Oh yeah, my schedule was 70 hours a week. You know? And
I
so
like that.
that's and due to other factors, we're able to work 50 hours a week ish, etc. I think firstly, family is most important. The most important part of even having starting your own company, because if when I get home, everything has to stay in the truck. Everything to do with work, the stress of the work, everything has to stay in the truck. In a family business, my brother, my cousins, Remington, Ryland, my brother Robert, we grew up together. We grew up on 15 acres out in the country. And so we played together every day. And so uh, our relationship is the most important. And my cousin and I, when we first started actually working together in the sense of I was estimating, he was running the field, we're like, the second this business and money gets in the way of our relationship, we're done. We are closing the doors, or one of us is stepping out, because
Hmm.
our relationship, our lifelong friendship, is the most important thing. So I think family is the most important. Second, respect for yourself, and respect for your employees, respect for your customers. When you can show self-respect by the way you look, the way you act, how you approach a customer when you get there. And nowadays it's so awkward, because when I would walk up to a new customer's home, stick out my hand and shake their hand, take off my sunglasses, look them in the eye, and present that. Now, it's like, what do I do? Do I shake
Yep.
their hand? Not shake their hand. And if they're saying, "Hey, we're shaking hands," I'm shaking their hand. It's just, that's what's going to happen, because there's that connection there. So family, respect, and trust, I think, are the three main things to starting your own business, and obviously hard work.
Hard work.
that,
Hard work.
that goes without saying.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned like how people think like they just hand out the business to me and I'm happy, I'm comfortable. No, it's not. It's like one of those things like even your father or your uncle give you $1 million,
Mhm.
and if you don't know have that kind of what's called mentality to continue growing, that money is gonna be like this poof, and you're like, what happened to Ryan $1 million? It's gone.
Right.
So the thing that is really true is like they give you that, maybe they give you a start or train you mind, and it depends on the person if you want to continue working really hard like them, or you're gonna be like, forget it, I just want to blow it and that's it. So I
Right.
think you mentioned that. So one other things like what books do you recommend that you reading, or a book that you recommend like kind of keep your mind in shape and also to continue growing a business, or apply something that you want to make.
Sure. I hesitate to say this, because I've heard that, well, this contractor said he was a Christian, and he took me to school and took my money and blah 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 blah. So when I don't want people to know that I'm a Christian
Okay.
by me telling them. I want them to know that I'm a Christian by the way that we act. So I think, to answer your question on the books, number one, the Bible. That is one. That is the roadmap to life, and that is where I glean so much from. But on leadership, obviously John Maxwell, and the book called Change Your World.
Change
Um,
your world. Okay.
it's not a it's a leadership book, obviously, but he talks about it, leadership starting at a table with people, and being involved in that aspect. And obviously, there's so many different books out there too, for our industry, whether it be estimating, etc. But I think um, uh, one of the most important parts is the team atmosphere, and keeping and knowing how to lead, lead in that team. So One of the books that I'm reading currently right now is Change Your World by John Maxwell, and it is absolutely incredible.
Awesome, guys. So there we go, guys. I want to add up a little bit about the Bible because I don't want people think like I'm Christian and I'm perfect because something things go wrong there. And yeah, you're right. The first book that I think anybody, if they want to have a success in life, if you want to learn a lot, and the Bible says a lot about how to even make money or how to create wealth, how all that stuff is in there. You just got to take the time, read it, and kind of really understand it. But that's my 3 cents in there. So,
Absolutely.
thing that I want to ask you is the what is your favorite restaurant that you go to?
Favorite restaurant? Oh my goodness. In our area, probably salsas.
Salsas, yeah.
So I love Mexican food and love salsas. So that would probably be my choice. Yeah.
That is awesome. So the last other question. I'm sorry, this is to kind of wrap it up. The knowing a little bit more about you. What do you do in your free time? And you hobby you what do you do in your spare time?
Sure.
If you have a spare time.
Yeah, when I get spare time. So I have a wonderful family. My wife will be married 10 years in May. We have two boys, Blake and Brantley. They are 6 and going to be 4. And we have a baby girl on the way that'll be here in November. And we are so excited for that. So I would say family is number one. But hobby, I love to play golf. I'm also a musician as well. I love to play music. I play drums and piano. So I love to play music. But on a Saturday morning or a Friday afternoon, me and my cousins and my brother, you'll find us out on a golf course somewhere in the area. So we enjoy
Really?
golf.
That is awesome. That's awesome. I was tried to play golf one time in my entire life, and I just don't get it. But if I keep playing, I kind of get into it. But I just don't get it. I don't know what it's about golf, but it gives you a peace and release as well. Like you just focus on that, you forget about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes it can be a stress relief. Other times when you're not playing well, it's like, oh boy, it went in the water again. But it's that camaraderie. We don't talk about work, or we try not to talk about work, and just it's that little release of maybe taking some frustration out on that little white ball. But no, yeah.
Okay, Ryan. Well, thank you so much for coming out and joining our show. I hope everybody up there gets a little help with the knowledge you just shared with us, like about concrete, how to pour, the company that you have to bring aboard, and also like the way that you are. And I'm sure a lot of people want to contact you and like get more work for you and get more advice from you because really in the end we are here to help each other and also like help other people that know things about concrete. And like for example, every business should be have like a system like yours. Like a lot of goes in the back, right? A lot of goes strass and all that mambo jazz. And sometimes people don't realize it. They just see like the nice concrete, the nice service, the nice everything, but they don't see what is behind the story. Like for example, like your grandpa started this company, and then your uncle, and then so on. And there's a lot of history behind that, and it's so powerful that you continue moving forward to push the dreams, the goals they have. I'm sure they were like probably pushing for you guys to keep running the show, and that's amazing.
Absolutely. If I may interject one thing, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for my dad, Robert Geans Jr., and my uncle Brad. They are exceptional men, and the reason where we're at today is because of them. They are obviously the president and vice president, my uncle Brad and my dad, but they empowered us, the younger generation, myself, my cousin, my brother, to do what we're doing. So if I could shout them out, I'm really thankful for them and their leadership and their influence in my life.
Well, there we go. I think I just gotta say some of those lines. I think if you don't have something behind it, kind of guide you, sometimes it's hard to get where you want to go. But when you have some generation behind you, like, nope, I want to look forward to live the same thing that they love me. So
Absolutely.
Much, and thank you, to your uncles and all the team. Shout out to them, because when they did some job for us, they work really hard, they're really professional, they always there in time, they try to you with polite, they never disrespect, they try to take care of the property like you say. That they're amazing people, so guys, I highly recommend them, because I use them, and they're really polite, and they always there when they're going to say, and they also stand behind. If something goes wrong, they are there trying to figure out why it go wrong and how can improve it. So I highly recommend. And again, don't forget, anything that you want to say, the last words, Ryan?
Thank you for the opportunity to represent Robert Geans Corporation. I really appreciate the opportunity to share what we do here, and so thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to be on this podcast.
Can you throw again, like, the information that they can reach you by email, phone, whatever?
Absolutely. RobertGeansCorp.com, and Geans is spelled Geans. So Robert Geans Corporation, RobertGeansCorp.com. Phone number 574-247-1961.
There we go, ladies. And guys, if you guys want to reach him, and he probably can come over to your place and check it out if you really need a concrete or you need something else. So I don't know. He's really good. I highly recommend him. And I just want to close in with this. Thank you for coming up to our show. And to our people that are listening, don't forget that this show is sponsored by Industrial Office Cleaning. If you need any disinfected cleaning, please contact 574-310-7782. Thank you so much for watching and listen. See you in the next one, guys.
If you're in the Michiana area and would like to have us put your business or story out there for everyone to hear, sign up at MichianaBusinessPodcast.com. Until next time, thanks for listening.